Hello, hello, hello. CT Luna here. Welcome to the Audio Lab. Throughout the month of July, I'm running a little experiment. I know so many of you love to listen to your books, and since I'm getting ready to eventually record and publish the official audiobook for Brown Beyond Borders, Emerging into Golden Multidimensionality, I wanted to practice out loud with you first. So every single day this month, I'm pulling up a chair, reading a few pages of my memoir right here. And if you're on the free list, these daily drops will stay open for just a few days before they head into the archives for my paid subscribers. So make sure you keep up. If you ever miss a session or want to unlock the whole archive to listen at your own pace, you can upgrade to a paid subscription at any time. But today, we are continuing chapter 12 called Shifting Self Perception. And we are still in part 4, the final part, which is emerging into golden multidimensionality. So here it goes. How do you go about loving yourself deeply and consistently? Again, it's simple, but it might not be easy at first because throughout our lives, we have picked up beliefs, assumptions, and habits of thought that keep us moving along the paths we have always followed. Many of those thought patterns are not helping us to realize our desires. Many times, those thoughts hold us back. The beginning of this book you are reading right now devoted many pages to the history of systemic racism in the United States, along with the experiences I had growing up in that environment. You might have read these chapters related to the self esteem and confidence issues I encountered along the way. I offer a mapping your confidence exercise in a separate exercise book and journal. Taking the time to self reflect and understand the patterns of thought and behavior you have developed throughout your life will undoubtedly have a profoundly positive impact. However, over time, you might feel like the positive self talk only goes so far. Going back to my vibrations when I was looking for a communications job in Switzerland, I knew the lyrics to my desire, but I couldn't tune into the music of my passion. You might recall that I could confidently speak to my English writing strengths, as well as my ability to speak other languages fluently. However, the first part of my sentence implied that I needed external validation to confirm my abilities. That is, a globally recognized organization that appreciates my abilities. That will not do. Lisa Nichols wrote, quote, mostly the world sees you the way you see yourself, end quote, which perfectly highlights that the way others perceive us is a consequence of the way we perceive ourselves. So, what did I do to change the trajectory of my career? First, I recognized that I had reached the point where I had framed myself as a victim of my circumstances and surroundings. I was blaming the job and my coworkers for my boredom. I was pointing the finger at hiring managers and their recruitment processes for not recognizing my abilities. And whether I was using the words or not, I was criticizing an even greater system that was prejudiced against candidates who presented as diverse a set of experiences and qualifications as I did. How could I love myself deeply and consistently if I were coming from a place of judgment and criticism? I needed to snap out of it. In Ask and It Is Given, the authors proffer several exercises you can do to clean up your vibration and start manifesting your desires. After I'd read through them all and understood the general principle underpinning them all, I devised an exercise of my own. Every day, in the 15 minutes before I started my day, I would write at least a list of 10 things I appreciated about my job at the air conditioning company. The logic being that if I could not clean up my feelings about my current job, I would attract the same feelings and disappointments at the next place. At first, I was shocked at how difficult it was to come up with one or two things. But I remembered that the point of the exercise was to shift my feelings about where I found myself at that time and place. So I told myself it didn't matter how small the thing was, I just needed to feel genuine appreciation for it. I sat there in silence for several minutes, and then a simple but true thought appeared. One, my boss has good grooming habits. 2. He wears a lovely cologne and makes an effort to look smart at the office. The mere thought of those two positive things that I genuinely appreciated felt good. Okay, only 8 more to go. I settled into my desk chair and quieted my mind down again. Another thought entered. 3. I'm good at what I do. I'm good with numbers. 4. I like that there's a clear process and that we've created a system that keeps things orderly. 5. Things are so organized here that we can find pretty much anything we file. There was a lighter mood, a shift from the morning routine of getting ready for another day's grind towards a positive anticipation of things working out. There were only 5 more things to appreciate and 2 minutes left before I had to start invoicing. I looked at the scratch paper with its 5 items and wrote down a number 6 to prepare for the following 5 good feeling thoughts. 6. It's nice that the team is flexible with my work hours. I love not having to punch a time clock. 7. I have the flexibility to work 4 10-hour days if I want to. 8. The team and my boss trust me and they see the value of my contribution. That first day, my invoicing colleague arrived punctually at 8 o'clock, so I had to hurry up with the last couple of entries. 9. I really like everyone here. They're friendly people, all of them. 10. There's free coffee here and it tastes good. And that's not a given. At some offices, you have to buy your own. I did this ritual for about 4 months. As I mentioned earlier, at first I needed the entire 15-minute slot I allotted for this task, but it wasn't long until I could complete this list in under 5 minutes. As the weeks continued, I found myself jotting down things throughout the day. I was hunting things that made me happy. I was hunting for things that made me happy. For example, sometimes when a service mechanic would call us with their end of day report, we would exchange some small talk. Sometimes our chats would be amusing or downright hilarious. I would hang up the phone with a chuckle and a smile on my face. Sometimes I'd have to tell my invoicing colleague about the amusing story I had just shared with one of our coworkers. I love being able to have a laugh at work. After about 70 days or so, a job posting for a pursuit writer appeared in my email inbox. I didn't know this type of job existed. My background and experiences aligned with the job description, and the opportunity aligned with my desire. It was with a global professional services firm that sought a strong writer in English who also spoke other languages. I swear I'm not making this up. I was interested. I went to work on my things list, jotting down 10 items in record time. Then I quickly typed up a brief cover letter, attached a PDF of my resume, and clicked the send button. My invoicing colleague arrived, settled into her desk, and we began working. Later that same day, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was the global professional services firm to which I had applied. We were impressed with your background and we'd like to interview you. Are you still interested? Of course I was. We scheduled an introductory interview with one of the hiring managers on the team for the following week. The next few weeks went by quickly. There was a progression of interviews, which included a team interview and a writing exam. Everything happened so quickly that I was starting my new job in the heart of Zurich by the 1st of December, mere months after I had started the exercise. You'll know that you're shifting your perception of yourself when your perception of others shifts for the better. More simply put, when your default is seeing the good in others, you are honoring the good in you. Inversely, when you consistently can't see the good in others, there's a strong chance that your self perception needs some shifting. On her podcast, Why She's Winning, international executive leadership coach and business advisor Christy Rutherford clarified it in plain English. Quote, we're blaming other people and we're not getting in the C suite. I read all these articles, and all of these people are pointing fingers at everybody else, and I'm just going like this. Just go ahead and turn that finger around. It's you. End quote. In her book, Trauma Default, Get a Clear Vision of Your Future by Breaking the Trauma Cycle of Your Past, Rutherford explores the concept of trauma default. It's the idea that our past experiences, perceptions, or long held beliefs are actively shaping how we behave in our day to day present reality. This default setting limits our potential and keeps us stuck in unfulfilling cycles. Trauma default manifests in various ways, often leading us to settle for less than we deserve. Stuck in unfulfilling jobs for which we're overqualified, we might struggle with self doubt, feeling like we don't belong, or that our successes are flukes. We might even sabotage our happiness, subconsciously recreating the familiar patterns of the past. Rutherford offers a path to liberation. Through her coaching work, she helps women understand their trauma default and break free from its limitations. This process requires courage and vulnerability to dig up the shadows of hurt from our past, but the rewards are immeasurable. As Rutherford writes, quote, with a new perspective, clients' default setting changed from one of a limited vision to one where they see the image of their God selves. They went out and immediately conquered more significant goals because they learned that their biggest obstacles were rooted from within. End quote. This resonates deeply with my journey. As I examine my own trauma default, I see my own default settings. Letting go of the old stories that no longer serve me and embracing the powerful, multidimensional woman I truly am is standing in my truth. Christy Rutherford's work is a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to break free from the limitations of our past and live a truly fulfilling life. For high performing brown immigrant women, her message is particularly empowering because it reminds us that external conditions do not define us, but by our inner knowing of ourselves. We have the power to rewrite our narratives, to reclaim our agency, and to live a life that is authentically ours. Shonda Rhimes, writer and storyteller extraordinaire, chronicled her journey of redefining success in her book, Year of Yes: How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person. Written and released when I was already living in Switzerland, many years after my Maui experiences, Rhimes' story resonated deeply with my own experiences. Shonda, who created Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder, shows that have redefined Thursday night television and catapulted her to the forefront of the entertainment industry, became a powerful voice for women and people of color. She built a life that was truly her own. In A Year of Yes, she shares how she found herself stuck in a rut. The American dream she had been chasing was leaving her exhausted. One day, she decided to embark on a radical experiment. For 1 year, she would say yes to every opportunity that came her way. The seemingly simple act of defiance became a catalyst for transformation, propelling her towards her own soul's vision. Shonda's yes wasn't just about saying yes to everything, it was about saying yes to herself, to her happiness, to her deepest desires. And in doing so, she discovered a world of possibilities she never knew existed. Shonda's story is a testament to the power of saying yes to your soul's vision. The seemingly small act of saying yes is an incredible act of self belief. Imagine the massive positive impact that saying yes on a regular and consistent basis can have in your life when no is the comfortable choice. I urge you to pick up Shonda Rhimes' book, A Year of Yes. In it, you will find not just a captivating story, but a roadmap to your transformation. Shonda's journey is a testament to the power of saying yes to yourself and to the limitless possibilities that await when you do. As I look back on my own experiences, I see the power in Rhymes's yes. It's okay to embrace the unknown. And that is where we're stopping for today. If you have a question about the book, the writing process, or anything we covered in today's segment, drop it in the comments of this post, and I might just answer yours on a future episode. I'm really glad I get to share this unedited process with you. Look out for the next passages in your inbox tomorrow morning. If you know someone who would connect with this part of the journey, please share this post with them while it's still open to the public. And if you want to support this audio experiment and my writing as I start drafting book 2, consider becoming a paid subscriber to unlock everything. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.